Okay, we're live.
Thank you. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Township of Bon Valley Committee meeting. And today is September 16th, 2025, 1:30 p.m. Are there any additions to the agenda?
I do have one, if I may. It's just something that came up last minute, but it's for a grant that's due today, so we need approval. Not for us, it's for a supporting letter for the New Horizons project for the Eganville seniors.
Okay.
And so what they're looking for is to basically be able to use our space for their Cooking Connections project at the Eagle's Nest in kind and add that to their grant. So if we could add that under correspondence, that would be great.
The correspondence B.
Yes, please.
Thank you. May I have a confirmation of the agenda mover? It's Tracy, because all in favor. Next, is there any pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? Any of the council? Very good. May I have a mover? Are there any addition or mistakes or errors on the agenda, on the minutes from the September 2 meeting? Thank you. May I have a mover for approval?
Sure.
Jennifer, all in favor? And we do have a delegation coming today. They're not quite here yet.
They're coming by Zoom.
They are. They're
Oh, I'm
here.
sorry,
So
they're
left
coming-
in the waiting room till we finish the agenda.
By tiny little particles on the wires. That's good.
The giant tubes.
So we welcome presenters from Driftscape Presentations.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Very good.
Awesome. Thank you very much for inviting me to present Driftscape to you today. I've been really looking forward to this call. I had a really great conversation with Sarah a couple months ago, and so I'm really looking forward to showing you around Driftscape. I have put together just a really quick little brief presentation about Driftscape, and then I'll get into the actual mobile and website to show everybody how that works.
Oh, good, that's what I wanted. Perfect.
Awesome. Awesome. Really quickly, I'm going to pull up my presentation. Hopefully it just takes a second. Sometimes my computer does make me really work for it. Can you see my screen okay?
You can.
Awesome.
I said to Sarah earlier, I would have checked all of those boxes.
Honestly, you'd be surprised how many people say that, actually. Almost all of these apply to a lot of things that folks are doing. I chose to specifically highlight some things that Sarah and I chatted about that were interesting to her. And I will get into what Driftscape is in just a second. I just wanted to give a quick recap about what some of those things were that were interesting to Sarah when we chatted last. So those were things like creating awareness of hidden gems throughout the township. There are lots of different ways you can do that. One that we see lots of success with is our location-aware notifications in the mobile platform, which will actually notify folks who are exploring when they're nearby something of interest on that map. That might be something that they might not even know is there. Kind of along with that, being able to share stories of history, sites, and attractions through interactive experiences, like maybe a self-guided tour, potentially even a scavenger hunt to get folks out and about exploring and then answering questions correctly to proceed along with that hunt itself. Of course, being able to incentivize shopping and exploration in local businesses, and then encouraging longer stays throughout the region as well. So now I want to chat with you all really quickly about what Driftscape is. So a little bit about ourselves. We were founded in 2017 out of Waterloo, Ontario. We've since expanded all across North America. The entire team lives in Ontario and all of our servers are located in Toronto. The easiest way really that I like to explain what Driftscape is for folks is that we are a local engagement platform. We're really designed to transform exploration into digital and interactive experiences. As I mentioned, maybe a self-guided tour, scavenger hunt, or even contests, which are becoming incredibly popular amongst users themselves. Since 2017, we've expanded all across North America, and we now have over 100 happy partners showcasing more than 7,000 points of interest on the map. Some of those happy customers include the town of Minto, Hanover, and Wellington North. They're working collectively to showcase the Saugeen region. They have some really fantastic self-guided tours. My personal favorite is the downtown walking tour that shares the history of Hanover's town square. Also, Elliott Lake, they've run a number of successful events. The one that comes to mind most predominantly is their Rock the Holidays event, which they were showcasing local businesses and residents who had decorated for the holidays, and then folks were able to vote on their favorite display. And then downtown Carlton Place as well. This is one of my personal favorites. They've run a Hardy Boys scavenger hunt all summer long that is designed to get folks out exploring some of the sites that are mentioned throughout the Hardy Boys novels themselves. They have to answer those questions correctly. And then at the very end of that scavenger hunt, they can enter for a prize within the platform. And then the only other one that I'll mention, it's not on this list, is Historica Canada. I don't know if folks remember the Heritage Minutes commercials that were on television, but those have all been added to Driftscape for folks to explore as well. But now I want to actually show you folks the mobile application. So I am going to pull up my cell phone for you all to see. Everybody can see that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome, amazing. Okie dokies. So this is the default view that people will see when they first open the Driftscape app. And so what I mean by the default view is in the bottom left, you'll see map, list, and augmented reality. Those are the different ways they can explore. They will automatically be in the map mode and zoomed into their location. So they'll automatically see what is ever around them. The list mode is going to organize everything from the center of my screen all the way to the furthest out. And then augmented reality is my favorite, so I will show you that towards the end. On the bottom right, you'll see places, events, and tours. Those are the different kinds of points that we support. Places are really good for a historic attraction or maybe a local business you want to encourage folks to visit. Events are great for anything that's time sensitive because they will disappear once that event is over. They are time and date sensitive there. And then tours are usually the most popular content. This could be, as I mentioned, a self-guided audio tour. It could also be a suggested itinerary or even a contest. And then underneath tours there, you'll notice this is what we call our categories view. I can filter by specific region, by specific category, and then by specific organization. And this is a list of all of the partners that are live within Driftscape right now. And so in thinking about that, we are predominantly a shared platform. So I almost always get the question, how are people going to find my content? Which is a great question. There are lots of ways they're able to do that. In combination with the mobile app, we do have a web version where they can explore everything you've added, those tours, experiences, everything you're showcasing without having to download the app. They could find you in this organizations list. Everything you add is searchable. But honestly, the easiest way we see our partners direct to their content is through QR codes or URLs that you'd use on social media. And that will showcase specific content and everything else will be hidden for visitors. So to walk you through that, beside the little magnifying glass in the top right, you'll see an icon. If I click on that, it's going to function the same way as if I'd scanned a QR code. In this case, it's going to open up a menu system. These are fully customizable for all of our partners. They're designed to help visitors and locals drill down into specific things in your content. So if I click on Explore Remington Park, for example, you can see I have a couple of different options. If I'm looking to maybe have something to eat, maybe I'm looking to explore some history and heritage, or maybe I've had a really bad day and I want to do some retail therapy, for example. Tapping on that shop icon is going to show me all of the places to shop within Remington Park there. And if I click out of that menu system and zoom out, nothing else on the map was going to show up for me. Going into the list mode, there are a couple things really quickly that I want to show you folks. The first one is this walkthrough time tour. This is an example of a self-guided audio tour. And because this actually has audio with it, anytime I'm actually taking it and exploring on site, it will automatically begin playing each audio track as I get close to that next stop. So I can read a little bit more about what I'll see, learn, and experience on this particular tour. I can see that it's been sponsored by some local businesses. I can also see the tour in a list mode here and in a map mode. And you can see me as a little blue dot showing you kind of where I am in relation to all of those different locations. And when I hit start the tour, it's going to bring me to the very first tour stop. Now, across the top is the media gallery. There is no limit to the amount of media you can choose to have here. So this one has a number of photos, but it could even have a video, and it does have an audio track in the bottom that I could press play on. There's a language selector. We do have auto translation available for all of the text from English to Spanish and French. That includes the interface there for users. And then as I continue I can read a little bit more about this particular location. I would also be able to see those tour sponsors and then proceed along with with this particular tour as well to learn about the library in this case. But as I mentioned, as I were actually out exploring, it would automatically do that motion for me when I got to that location and begin playing this audio track as well. So it's a really nice way to kind of create some hands-free exploring for folks to learn a little bit more about some stories that way. And the other thing that I want to show you in the mobile app is a scavenger hunt, because these have become very popular rather. And Sarah and I talked a lot about these. So when I open it up, it's going to look very similar to the last thing we looked at, and that's because it's mapped as a tour. It'll give me a little bit of a description as to what I'll see, learn, and experience on this hunt. It's letting me know that I'm looking for 5 treasures that are hidden throughout the area. And then at the bottom, it's going to give me a little hint. And I can also get a picture hint as well. I should have scrolled down in the last couple ones, because where it says Explore Remington Park, that would be your logo. I can also share to my social media and then get directions, which will open up my default map app and provide me with turn-by-turn directions on how I can get to the beginning of this tour. And when I hit start the tour, it's going to ask me a specific question that I have to answer correctly in order to unlock this next stop. So in this case, it's asking me how many stops we're looking for, or treasures, and the answer is 5. And when I type that in and hit OK, I can unlock that the very first stop on this particular hunt. That question can be anything you wanted it to be. Could be something that's hidden on site, hidden in the text, for folks to uncover and learn about. I can scroll through the media across the top here, read a little bit more about this war memorial. And they've added collectible points and rewards to this experience. So I could actually collect these if I were on site. And then the reward for completion is a fanny pack, but it could be anything that you wanted that to be. I can read a little bit more about the stop, as I mentioned, get my next hint, and then also get a photo hint. And when I go to proceed to the next stop, it's again going to ask me a different question now that I have to answer correctly to unlock this stop. So in this case, it's asking what year the memorial was sculpted in, which is 1974. And when I hit OK, I can unlock that next stop and now proceed along with this particular hunt this way. These have become incredibly popular. As I mentioned, the Hardy Boys one actually is the most popular content of the entire summer. They've done really well with that one. And then the only other thing that I want to show you is our augmented reality view, and then I'll show you the web version, and then I promise I will give you back your meeting. So to get to the augmented reality view, I'm just going to hit the little eyeball icon in the bottom center of my screen. It's best used when you're actually on site exploring, so you will get a little tour of my home office today. The first thing you'll see is there's a little butterfly behind me. That's a 3D object that you can choose to add to the platform. We've added lots of insects and butterflies. One of our partners is working on adding Waldos to their local businesses to get their residents out finding Waldo, which I think is really cute, but lots of fun different ways that you can encourage or use those. I can click on them to learn a little bit more about it, and then I could open that up. And then if I continue exploring, you can see that there are some other things close to my house. Could also click on those to open those up and then be able to explore or take that tour, for example. You can create scavenger hunts that use that mode for folks to explore as well. But that's everything I want to show you in the mobile app. I want to show you the web version next, because that is the other piece of Driftscape that is included. So I will show you 2 really quick examples of what that looks like. I just have to get my screen shared. So this is right on Hanover's website, and they have a tourism and culture map page. They also have a QR code, and when I scan that, it will prompt me to download the application. Once I've done that, I will immediately see only Hanover's content. And they've chosen to embed Driftscape directly below. And there are a couple differences between the mobile app and the web version. This green banner with the gray text and their logo, that would be fully branded to you, your logo, your color scheme, all of those things. The second difference is the mobile app supports augmented reality. And while this map is mobile friendly, we almost always find it's used on a desktop. So augmented reality in your web camera, not an ideal situation. And then the biggest difference is the mobile app. I can see content from all of our partners. When I zoom all the way out on this map, I'm only going to see Hanover's content on this particular map here. And it's going to behave the exact same way. I can do a search there. I could click on things on the map mode. And then if I go into the list mode, it's again going to organize everything from the center of my screen all the way to the furthest out there. And when there's something that I want to explore, I can click on that and I can actually start participating in this particular heritage story tour here. But that I think is everything that I wanted to show you in both the mobile and the web platform. Before I leave you today, does anybody have any questions about anything that I've shown you?
Reed, number one, I thought that your slide deck was great. Your pricing is great.
Thank you.
And in speaking to Sarah, obviously this would be a budget item for next year, but certainly something that I think council should agree on this year for next year's budget. But I did have a couple of comments.
Yeah.
Number one, I think that you cater to smaller municipalities, and we see so many software companies that don't do that. They are always, the $50,000 and for a larger population. I love that everything is hosted in Toronto. As we know, we want stuff hosted in Canada. When I read that everything is auto translation, so smart.
Yes.
For all of our visitors. I'm wondering if council, this has nothing to do with you, Reed, but is this something that we should be speaking to our neighbors in North Algona about? Considering that they horseshoe us with some of our other tourism things that go along. And I was going to be cheeky and say, the mobile app's great now that we have proper cell phone service. Up until about 3 months ago, the cell phone service here was really sketchy, but if you're on Rogers now, it's really good.
The one thing I will mention about that, I have spotty service sometimes where I live. We do have an offline mode, so folks are actually able to download that, and then they don't have to worry about if they run out of cell service or if they're in a rural area and don't have that, they can still continue to explore that content. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Tracy.
Hi.
I guess I should have introduced myself.
Just in terms of other municipalities you've worked with, just looking for best practice ideas, have any incorporated sponsors within the platform? So if we
Yes.
had local businesses like the Caves, etc., to help fund this initiative for the town,
Absolutely.
that we would identify sponsors.
Absolutely. So we have had a number of partners do that. The biggest one that comes to mind is actually out in New Brunswick, and it's the Friends of Fundy Tourism Group. They have actually partnered with the Fundy Biosphere and the Geopark, who act as sponsors for almost all of their events in the application, but they're showcasing their content. And then in addition to that, to showcase any of their member businesses, they're passing some of the cost of showcasing that business back to the business and their membership fees, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm thinking the museum, that fund, that fund
Yes.
started the historical project to, the Caves, to the Bonnechere Cup races, like the gun show, big stuff.
Yeah. But
We have-
also, if we partner with NAW
Yeah.
again, a lot of our bigger tourism partners are actually outside of Bonnechere
Yeah.
Valley. So this is definitely something I think we need to share with North Algona and see if they'll partner with us.
Or even, I'm thinking agritourism, so the co-op and local farms, things like that, for farms open. There's many things that's outside of Bonnechere Valley and North Algona, like Greater, Adamston, Brownlee, or I don't know.
It's in my mayor's report about agritourism, so.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny you mention agritourism. We see so much success with farm gate tours in the platform. We have a lot of townships that have created them, and they are wildly successful, like incredibly successful. The one that comes to mind most predominantly is out in North Perth, which is out towards Stratford. But I think it saw 10,000 views this summer.
Mennonites might want to get in on this.
Yeah.
I really like them. They're fun to explore. I like supporting local myself, so I got really interested in that one. I'm always up in the Stratford area, so I liked to kind of explore and check that out myself.
Well, Reed, this is a really exciting initiative that you've brought to us. And of course, thanks to Sarah, our Community Development Officer. I think this is something you couldn't see all of us in the room, but we were all nodding and going, oh, wow.
Well, that makes me very happy.
Well,
Um,
I always love when companies take into consideration, as I said, the very, very small rural municipalities.
I grew up in a really small town. I love them. I love them. They have so much charm and so much that needs to be discovered and shared that most people don't even realize. I grew up in a really small town just outside of Brampton, about half an hour north, and still to this day I tell people where I'm from and they have no idea where it is. And
Where are
when
you
you go,
from?
I'm from Alton.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know where it
So
is?
towards Orangeville.
Yes, very close to Orangeville. Most people don't know where it is. I'm surprised. Well, that's exciting. But there's
I'm good. I'm just that good.
sorry, I got really excited about that. Most of the time I tell people and they're like, I don't know where that is. But they have there are so many fun historical buildings like the old town hall or like the old hotel. They recently put in a plaque and I go back and visit my sister and she still lives there and I'm shocked to discover new things every time I'm there myself.
You're the chair, you ask.
So I really like the concept where you mentioned that several community or several municipalities got together
Yeah.
for an umbrella. I like that because we already do 3 municipality arrangements for libraries and other things. So we could easily do that. And that would make a lot of sense because while we all have our own features, doesn't take long to drive from one end of 3 rural municipalities
Yeah.
at a time. So I like that concept.
They've done a fantastic job with it. What I'll do actually is part of my follow-up, I'll send some links to Sarah that she can pass along to you so you can kind of check out what they've done in a little bit more detail. They've done a really, really great job kind of showcasing each other and piggybacking off what one another's doing.
Reed, I didn't see in your presentation, have you done any that are county-wide?
We have actually. We have the County of Peterborough. They've just gone live actually
Yeah.
today with their very, very first scavenger hunt. It's in Lakefield. And then we also have Bruce County, which is one of our bigger ones. And they are using predominantly points and rewards to kind of showcase some of the smaller towns within the county and some of their more hidden attractions. Most of the time, when people think of the county of Bruce, they think of Tobermory only, but they don't think of all of the other kind of neighboring communities as well.
Well, that's great. I'm very good friends with the warden of the county of Peterborough, so I'm gonna reach out and find out if it worked well for, our county is a bit unusual in its geographic size. But I check in with Bonnie and see if it's working for their county. Reed, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, everybody. And I hope you all have a great rest of the week. Sarah, I'll send you an email shortly with some extra links that you can pass along.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.
Bye.
So I guess, guys, do we try, by the way, there are only 2 partners in our library now.
So there was 2 things on our agenda today that involved Whitewater.
That's our EVs
Okay.
and
Well, that's a
our,
cooperative thing.
and we met with, we include them in delegations sometimes because they're good partners.
Okay.
My question, I guess, and I think we were all very impressed with this, and I think it's something that we'll want to do. So Sarah's, not a recommendation, but what she was thinking was we'd start out with that starter package, which is very inexpensive. And it's got 30 points of interest, I believe. Is that right?
That sounds right.
Because they shut it down.
Yep.
All right. So my question to you is, do you want to pilot this with North Algona Wilberforce or even just on our own? Or, and I totally agree about sponsors, by the way.
Yeah, I
But-
think they could pay for itself.
I do too, but it's very inexpensive as well.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you, sorry to interrupt you, but rather than waiting for a next budget cycle, if you explore the sponsorship route, we could do it now.
But would we? Because we're coming into winter.
Well, what happens here in the winter, like there's snowmobile, like there's still tourism, right? There's tourism, we're for
Yeah,
tourism.
Snowmobiling isn't really in Bonachir Valley because we don't have any people aren't snowmobiling on the Geo Trail.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There are snowmobile routes.
How would we approach NAW to see what fish around for what interest? Because they've got a 50th anniversary of the Boncher Cup coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
do.
races
Big deal.
and.
And the caves and Whitetail and, you know,
Shaw
like
Woods.
Shaw Woods.
And we have our own things too. We
Yeah, I was
cover it
just
all
gonna say, our objective should still remain bringing people here. And it's not just tourists, you're bringing, it could be people potentially buying, but I don't know, like
And
it's,
we are North Algona's village center.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know
Yeah.
that they've got Golden Lake in the resort, but we are their village center. So I'm just, I would be happy. Could we send the slide deck? Maybe could we send it to James? And then James can bring it to his council and his staff. And then, but I think no matter what, we're committed to doing that starter package, correct?
Yeah.
Like, I think this is, especially with our EV chargers coming and the new buildings being built and the connecting link will be done and the sidewalks will be done, like, there's a lot going on in
yeah.
and around the village.
agree.
And I think that it's an excellent time to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I don't think season matters. I think we should have to maintain, we still have, it's a playground here, right? Like,
It is,
and everything else, like snowmobiling, ice fishing, still busy, still things.
Yeah,
happening
ice-
here.
yeah. But the other thing
Not all
is,
the businesses.
can you do timely things as well? Like if Kevin's got you know, somebody throws down the gauntlet and says, we're gonna take on the Old Eagles or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like could
Community
you
events.
promote that way as well? Yeah,
Cause you've got like the scavenger hunts, which,
Oh my
anyway,
God.
we've got the Christmas parade. You know, there's many things happening at the Legion all the time.
all the time.
So,
And
you know, Off Grid Productions has many events.
maybe
So,
Off Grid Productions would like to be a sponsor.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know somebody in that
Just saying.
company.
Do you know somebody that would be great? No, I'm just,
Yeah, there are
Like-
many things when you think about everything going on, it's ongoing.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the senior center is doing such a
Yeah.
brilliant idea too of putting out everything that they're doing, and they're doing a lot.
And you know,
When I read his presentation, it was great, but the first thing I was gonna ask was, can we see a demo? So the fact that he preempted and showed us a demo is fantastic.
Yeah.
and you know, if it looks like it would lend itself to putting on a hockey tournament or a golf tournament.
Anything.
And
Or go
and when
yoga.
people come and look at that, they don't even have to leave their living room, unfortunately. But if they look at the hockey tournament because their grandson is playing in it, that's more of what we want,
Yeah.
exposure.
It's
Yeah.
a tourist is also a future resident.
Potential, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of a tourist for
Yeah.
the first 31 years of my life.
How many people come here and they love it so much that they end up coming, you know, retire
Yeah.
here?
Absolutely. Anyway, when I read his presentation, I just thought it was great and the pricing is great and again, small price for a small municipality.
So is the price such that we don't have to wait till our next budget?
Well, it's $2,500 for the starter and free
And
setup.
that's for a year long? Or how does that work?
Yeah, so the only thing I would say is if we're gonna talk to North Algona to see, like, let's see what they say. And then I don't know how long it takes for setup, right? Like, so I
Yeah.
don't wanna pay $2,500 and then it takes, 30 days. I mean, maybe it takes 30 days, maybe it takes 60 days to set up.
Right.
And then we're only a month away to the next budget. And meanwhile, now we're trying to find where are we cutting it from?
It probably takes
Yeah.
us, probably our content, it would take longer, I would think, given their platform, because they would need content from us.
But I feel like if we started, if we started in the new year and then we'd probably have it ready to go before tourist season. But-
Oh, yeah.
But I know what you're
For
saying.
real
We have-
tourist
We have
season.
stuff going on all year long. We do. I just don't, will we have that all up in time or will it?
Mm.
It's probably an AI-based platform that is gonna pull from your geographic location, right?
Mhm.
It's gonna say, you can vote, and then if your query would be, show the Legion,
Yeah.
show the cave, show the things that are known.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then it would be an AI function then to pull all of that
Yeah.
in together.
So I think we talked to, my opinion is we talk to James, see if North Algona is interested or not. Talk to Sarah, see how, like, what have we got? How long is it gonna take? What's the timing of it? And then kind of go from there. And then we can have a look with Sandra, we can look at the budget and see if there's a spot
modernization grant.
Yeah.
The startup package is $2,983.
Oh, it's nine-
Tax.
With
Yeah.
tax, sorry, it was
$2,500 is an optional, buddy.
Yeah.
It's something
Okay.
extra to add on.
sorry, my bad. I shouldn't have shut it down. I should have left it up in front of me.
Thank you,
Anyway, it's
Sandra,
still-
for bringing us back to reality. That's
It's still-
strength.
Sitting here trying to figure out the pricing.
It's
Yeah.
still less than $3,000.
Yeah.
Which is with tax, which is insane. And that's for 30 points of interest.
Yeah,
Which-
$280.89 a month.
That's amazing. Thank you, Sandra.
So could we,
Thank you.
could we direct staff, i.e. Sarah, to come up with 20 points that she thinks might work and she'd probably already done it, I'll be fair.
yeah, no, yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll send it to James, we'll see what North Lagona's, cause if they're, like, if she's come up with 20 and North Lagona wants 10, like, you know what I mean, what are they willing to chip in, how many points do they want?
So we would share the overall
And then-
cost with them, like the
Yeah.
one cost and not each paying 2,500.
Yeah,
And then we can look for sponsors.
Yeah,
We can look for
exactly.
sponsors
Yeah.
after the fact as well, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't,
They'll be knocking on our door.
It could be different levels of sponsorship, obviously, and different, like they, maybe, someone has one event, what does that fee look like? It's up to us to come up with that.
yeah, and I'm sure that Driftscape they probably have other municipalities that
Yeah.
have done this.
They'd have best practice.
Okay.
So
If there was a third municipality, which would be our natural partner? Would it be Admiston or would
I,
it?
I think if we're talking about Agra, I would say Admiston Brahma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just thinking.
Which I think is huge. I think that would be, I think it's personally, I think it's a sector that hasn't been focused on enough.
I focused on it a lot on Friday,
Yeah. I saw
Okay.
that.
the whole day.
Like it's way to support our local farms.
But some of these firms don't want you just wandering onto their farm.
No, not wandering, but it could be just like when they're selling their market season, right? Harvest season. When they're like farm to fork, they're not always available, for instance,
No, I wish they were.
yeah. Brookfield
garlic.
cider, another one.
Yeah, Brookers, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Anyway, all right, so I think, yes, we have agreed in principle that we are doing this.
perfect,
It's
so
just, what does it look like?
we'll just pitch it back to staff and we'll come back with something next month. with-
And I'm driving to OEMC with James tomorrow.
Okay, perfect,
So if you get it to him and just say that Jen asked you to send it, because I don't know how to break it out,
yeah, that's
the
fine,
slide deck.
yeah.
Okay, so the other-
Send it off today.
Question, and Sarah can look into this, if we had a time sensitive thing, like the Bonshire Cup or like a hockey tournament or a golf tournament. Is that, when it turns off, does that give us the opportunity to use another one of the 30 spots? How does that short live?
Oh,
Yeah, we'll ask.
Good tourism, but.
Like if it's
but
invest in
as a-
demand,
As
we want
a
more.
best before date,
what you're saying is that we want our solids, right? Like
absolutely.
like, these are the things that go on all the
Yeah.
time. But what you're saying is leave a couple of spots open for rotating
Rotate through.
timely things. Yeah, that's interesting.
And that could be done by staff as well, like Kevin could work with his counterpart and they could work it out so that it'd be great because we're always looking for a way to promote ourselves. And if someone's coming for ice fishing, they may also then see, oh, look what's happening there that weekend.
Or even fundraisers for families, right? Something that's not expected, but comes across. Someone's home burns down, or you know what I mean? Like someone.
Well, yeah.
Events that take place throughout.
I don't know that I delve into.
No,
because
same rotating spots. So
God
if somebody
forbid
wanted
you
to
miss
use it.
one. God
I
forbid. you
guess
miss
the
one.
onus would be on them to contact us. For that.
Anyway,
Anyway, just.
it's a good place to start heading. Thank you.
Yeah,
We'll do some digging and come back with a recommendation.
beauty,
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah, if you get I'm happy to bring it up with James.
Okay.
We had all sorts of partnership ideas.
All right, Evan. Recreation report.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can't believe you're already making ice.
yes, we are. Yes, we are. At the arena, you can kind of see what's happening. We started the plant last Monday and our first full day of hockey is this Saturday coming.
Well, I'm
And so
for public skating, do you have your list of sponsors that you're reaching out to, or Oh, all right, am I on that list?
Not as of yet.
Okay, you can throw me on that list.
Okay, we'll do that. Anyways, roller skating, our first day is the 20th of PA Day. So we have public, but our first official day of starting is October 19th on Sunday.
Yes.
September 30th, the arena will be closed. We have a few rentals upstairs, Rotary Beach. We had the some Ottawa Valley Tourism at the back of the rink last Thursday night, so they.
What was that for? Was that for their magazine or video?
Yeah, it was a small town tourism. So
Very cool.
they took the couple paddle boards and a kayak out and took some pictures. And,
Nice.
yeah, so they had a great evening. It was a great evening for it. I didn't know what was the weather was going to be like, but it was a great evening for it.
Great.
First booth is closed. Gerald Tracy Park, we have a group in talking about climate action this weekend. Splash pad will be closed at the end of the month. Maintenance of the ball field, we've pretty well taken all the pins out. And you saw the pictures of the walkway. Yesterday, you have that. And this was finished up on Friday. Matt did an awesome job of the wall plus the.
Did he put my poppies on?
And all the sin that around.
Have a look.
What,
I didn't see that in your photos.
What
They're great.
Oh my gosh.
didn't happen until Friday.
Oh.
And the walkway is marvelous too. You did send that in the notes. as
Oh,
well.
yes, yeah.
who painted this?
Matt.
Matt,
Oh, the walkway?
Yeah,
That's a company.
oh, okay,
this company.
yeah.
Oh, you guys did it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh, the poppies look amazing. I'm so happy. I just had a meeting with Dan Haddad. So in your report, it says for the 80th anniversary, it's not really, it was just the time that we decided to rehab Legion Field. But I liked I was picking up what you were putting down, Kevin.
Okay.
Bring that into the 80th anniversary.
We just call it Love the Legion Day.
Well, and so I'd really like it if everybody could be at Legion Field at 1 o'clock on Sunday. It's in my mayor's report, but Dan and I were just sort of working out. He's gonna put out a mass email to the Legion members. And we'll just thank our military, and then Legion Week actually begins at 2 o'clock at the Legion. But it looks so good.
No, it turned
And
out amazing.
And Dan said the arch, the sign looks so amazing.
No, it was new. It was new.
So I guess the Legion's really excited about this, right? Members of the Legion?
Yes,
Yeah.
but can I tell you that it's so nice that all the letters are on Legion Memorial Field? All the letters stand up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I know that there was some dissension about where we put the sidewalk, that it's not on Veterans Way. And I will tell you that I just said this to Dan, and he had been to Pembroke as well. Pembroke finished theirs 2 Fridays ago. I was there the following Tuesday. I actually came right on Lake Street and came back up, and there are already black tire marks on the white. And you're never gonna get away from that, ever. But in order to keep this as pristine as possible for as long as possible, I'm glad we put it where we put it. And I will also tell you that when I met with Dan this morning, I asked him the military muster at St. James to do the march on Remembrance Day to the Legion. What I've asked him to do is have them muster at Legion Field and walk down.
Come down, Patrick. Yes,
Yeah,
good.
so they used to muster here. And I actually didn't know until this morning that they now muster at St. James. So mustering at Legion Field is not a far stretch, and it's all downhill.
What a great photo op with them coming down the drive. Brilliant.
You're welcome. I'm pretty proud of myself. So I'm hoping that will happen. He's going to get in touch with whatever Legion member deals with bringing the military for Remembrance Day. I think it'll be beautiful. I will be there to take.
Sounds good.
That didn't quite sound right.
If,
I think it's gonna be beautiful. I'll be there.
no,
I don't think
Sorry.
that's what you meant.
two separate thoughts.
Sorry.
No, especially, I mean, the side of the building just looks
No,
incredible.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
bright and it's exactly right.
And it makes me feel so patriotic.
We need to rename that building. We talked about that last time.
Yeah, yeah, we
To
do.
go in line with what's been done here.
You wanna spitball some ideas?
Do you want to do it now or later?
I don't care.
Anybody have ideas?
I'll need time.
I mean, we could simply call it the Legion Building, but that would be confusing.
Yeah, maybe we should have a contest.
We could,
Oh.
and we could put it on Driftscape.
No, just put on our social media
Yeah, we
Sure.
could.
contest to rename the youth center
Yeah,
and throw in a prize.
yeah, because every time I tell somebody, they're like, what building? And it's the
Yeah,
youth building. but
Yeah,
it's
you don't want
not.
to call it that anymore. No. And
I don't
not
know.
not the storage shed either.
We'll call it the Kevin McGrath Building.
Easy. right?
Man cave? Kidding. No, it might be fun to have a contest.
It might be, yeah, yeah. We could put it, actually, we could put it out to the kids at the youth summit.
There you go. There,
Awesome.
Very
I'll
good.
start there.
Like that.
okay.
And I'm really excited that the play structure is all ready to go for October.
Yeah, it's.
Thank you for not digging up Legion Field for Legion Week.
I actually have a question about the Christmas party, the tenders for caterers. Are you reaching out to new people or?
I haven't reached out to anybody as of yet.
I was just
but,
thinking Charlie's is new in town. I don't know if he caters or not. Just supporting a new business.
I believe he does, but I'm not sure.
Well, pass on his contact information to Kevin.
I just thought because he's new, maybe he wants to be on the list.
No, absolutely not. Doesn't hurt to reach out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, yeah, until you ask him, he'll answer our questions, so. Yeah, the farmer's market, Saturday night was a great evening, great turnout, I thought, it was well represented. Yeah, it was really good. Other than that, grass maintenance, all grass sort of coming back again. It was quite dormant for the month of August.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, so.
no grass cutting required.
Yeah, but anyways. That's my rec report.
Good work, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good work.
We have a preferred date, Jen? For public skating?
No,
Thank you.
whatever works for you, Kevin. I'm easy peasy. Don't say it.
And it's 185? Is the cost for the public skating sponsorship?
No, it's 140.
I thought that was for seniors and tots.
It's seniors and tots at 105.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very good. Sandra. Finance report.
Yes. So the September 10th budget report is in your package along with the balance sheet of August 31st, 2025. Just a note of interest on the balance sheet. I should have brought my glasses. We're actually in a better cash position at this time this year than we were last year. But we do have some big projects on the go, so that will be changing. Things are going good in the budget report. I wasn't sure if anybody had any specific questions.
Nope.
Okay.
Things look really good.
So I completed the 2024 Statistics Canada survey on core infrastructure. That's always fun. That's the third time I've done that for Statistics Canada.
Because once they have you, you get it every time.
Yeah, it's every 2 years, it
Yeah.
seems. I'm hoping this was my last time.
All right.
Was it exciting?
Yes, thrilling. It's very long and involved. I have to loop in department heads to.
Yeah.
It covers all the roads,
Yeah,
water and sewer, storm sewer.
good
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah, and they
good
usually
times.
send it and they're like, it'll be done in 2 weeks, right? Yeah. Yeah. And just an update on the iCity Online Citizen Portal. So after 3 years,
I,
it's ready.
seriously, man.
I can't make this
I
happen.
know.
Yeah. That's how long it takes to get software upgrades for our municipal software.
Wow,
It's,
Yeah,
it's laughable, right?
it is.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they have staffing issues. Because I'm pretty sure
Don't make
like,
excuses
3 years
for
was
them.
in May. I think we signed the contract of May, so 3 years was this May.
More
So,
of that. Well,
yes.
Good
So,
lord.
Our plan is to roll it out to water and sewer customers.
Yeah, that makes,
On the October first billing
Yeah.
and see how that goes with a smaller. And then once they sign up, they'll have the option to receive their, they get to choose right when, as they're creating their account to get their bills either in an email attached as a PDF or just a notification that they're in the portal.
okay.
And then they could go there and print them if they wish, but once they've signed up, then we don't mail them copies.
I think it's really smart to
Okay.
start with that test balloon of a smaller subset of water and sewer than trying to do the township all at once.
Yeah.
Let's see how it works.
Yeah, because the setup is gonna be a lot on staff. In the
Right.
sense like if they're having problems, like we've got to walk them through it, right? And
Yeah.
we had some quick little training sessions and then you're
Okay.
on your own.
like everything in life, that's right.
Yeah,
Take the plunge.
Yeah.
So it also, the portal also allows them to look at their bills in more detail or wonder why their rate hasn't changed because they demolished their garage or something.
yeah.
Is that
And
part of
then
that?
they'll be able to see their bills going forward. Like they'll be able to see all the history in their accounts, but the bills will be going forward, if you know what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah,
Like if they make an account in October, they're not gonna see September's bill or August's bill. They'll see October's and then going forward.
yeah, that makes
'cause
sense.
they're not created till we now create them.
So to John, number one, we're starting with water and sewer, so that won't be part
Sorry.
of it. But even when we roll out, no, they won't see that detail on their tax
Okay.
bill.
So this is basically an accounting checkpoint where they can see what they owe and
It's
move
just
there.
like every bill you get online.
Yeah.
That you sign up for, sorry, that
Yes.
you sign up for online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's almost like a mirror of our system.
right.
So what we see when we click on bill summary, we see their bills as they go back, they would see that.
So. This is probably the best time to ask, just because we're into it here. So there have been a couple of municipalities that have talked about splitting out their OPP billing on the tax bill. So one is doing, and I'm not sure if this is even allowed, but one municipality is doing just evened it out, right? So they took their OPP bill, divided it by the amount of households, and let's say it's $300, everybody gets shown $300 on their tax bill, obviously taken off their
Yeah.
taxes. How much work would it be to do that properly by assessment?
A lot more.
A lot, okay, that's all I needed to hear. I
Because if it's
just,
by assessment, then it's basically a whole nother set of tax rates for all the tax classes.
okay, so I was thinking in terms of, I pay $4,000 in taxes. 1,500 of that goes to the county, which is fine, 300 goes to the province. Then I'm left with my Bonnechere Valley balance. Of that balance, there's probably more than $300 of OPP billing in that. So that's why I'm asking, because with the unknowns of OPP going forward, I think that our residents have the right to know that, you know, this is what you pay in OPP. Just so that they're aware.
Yeah.
As a breakdown, but if it's a lot more work, forget it. We can put it in the newsletter. I can do an Ask Mayor Murphy about it. When we do budget, we can say, this portion of your taxes is OPP. Don't worry about it. Forget I asked.
Yeah, because to do it by assessment
Yes,
would be the easier way. But again, then you're repeating all your tax
Yes.
classes.
I get it now.
Yeah,
Yeah. I just don't agree with dividing it equally amongst, and I'm not even.
No.
That's allowed, but.
It's a good
yes.
idea.
No, it should be proportional to your tax.
And it is right now.
Yeah.
And
So,
basically it would be
yeah.
the exact same amount. other than the way you're proposing would just be broken out.
Right,
Like if you're paying 1,500 to the municipality and 400 of that is for OPP. That
it would just be taken off that 1,500.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it'd still show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's fine. We have lots of other ways to communicate it. We got the $77 million fund this year and I'm just, I'm forward thinking into next year. Because we don't like surprise budget items. So I just think that that's one, because they see the province and they see the county, like we can break it out for them, but I can't always break out OPP for them.
It's just full transparency is really what you're asking for, that I think residents deserve,
Yeah,
if we can do it.
yeah, but anyway, no, that's fine. Council can communicate that out, what part of our assessment is OPP billing. Just thought I'd ask the question.
Yeah. Okay, so on August the 25th, I attended a meeting with fellow treasurers at the County of Renfrew to discuss tax policies and other financial issues.
Sounds like a fun day.
Oh, it was great.
Excitement, doesn't she?
Calculated and billed out 2 property tax supplemental billing batches totaling $22,875.87. Those make me very popular.
No doubt.
Mhm. So a loan application was completed with Infrastructure Ontario to borrow $200,000 for the purchase of the 2024 Freightliner rear load garbage and recycling truck. So included in the meeting package for tonight is the bylaw to authorize that loan with Infrastructure Ontario.
Brilliant.
And there could be more paperwork to come. That's just the first step. We're not sure. There's a lot of sample bylaws on their page.
Did I miss what's IO's interest rate right now? Did I miss that in the bylaw?
4% when we asked,
It is, okay.
which is better than the banks.
Yeah, no. We had a huge conversation in the hallway about it at AMO about IO, so.
And then on September 12th, the township received its 5th transfer payment from the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund in the amount of $81,735.
Otherwise known as OSIF.
Yes, which I missed the Ontario part in my report. See that now, what's I did out. Any other questions on anything else?
That's a good report, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Moving along to Annette's administration report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The bottom of Sandra's big report. So I did attend the AMO conference, as you know, and both you have a report and I'm sure Mayor Murphy has a report.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't spend a whole lot of time on my report, but I was able to attend 5 different sessions along with the regular plenary and networking programs. So, and 3 delegations as well with Minister of Finance, Environment and Energy. So the 5 sessions were on civility and anti-harassment strategy, which was a very good session where we gave a lot of information to the consultants that were hired by AMO to sort of look at this issue and could sort of try to figure out what are the, what's causing this issue? What do we think is helpful to address this issue? And that kind of thing. So that was very, very interesting to hear where different people thought it was coming from and what sort of was causing, sort of a breakdown in society of people being more and more incivil to each other. And then also just how people were, how different people handle it, how different people address it. So I'm assuming at some point when they're finished studying the issue, they will come out with some sort of recommendations for municipalities to kind of say like, here's what we've heard from everybody we talked to, and here's some suggestions we have.
Did you go to the incivility table
Yes.
where they were interviewing
Yeah,
people? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and that was the same people that ran the
Yeah,
session.
yeah.
No, it was good.
I missed the session, but I sat with the group
Mhm.
for half an hour.
Yeah. And then the emergency preparedness and response was also a very good session held by Jill Dunlop, and I brought back a bunch of information for our CEMC, Eric Rice, on sort of the new programming and things that are coming up from the province for emergency response. And then the women's networking breakfast was amazing. I guess there's a movie coming out shortly of one of the ladies that was presenting there, and her experience in the army, but it was quite an inspirational breakfast. So that was quite great. As well as the the partnerships to develop municipal staff and talent in the pipeline. So that both talked about, it was the Planning Institute that was there, it was the Walkerton Wastewater Center that was there, and I'm trying to remember the third institution that was there, and I can't. But there was 3 people at the table sort of talking about you know, succession planning, and like I said, Walkerton was really talking about how, so both the Planning Institute recognizes we have a shortage of planners, we have a shortage of people getting you know, being able to practice planning here who have, you know, their degrees from other areas. And then also for water and wastewater, and how challenging it is in that industry as well. So I did bring back some very interesting things to both for the water, but also for our youth summit, because the Walkerton Clean Water Center does do a lot of activities with youth to encourage people to get into that industry. So they had quite a few slides on that. So I know that Sarah's been chatting with her to see whether some of their activities, you know, is there things they can ship to us? Is there things that we could do here? Because they do travel across the province, sort of encouraging youth learning and things like that. So that was very, very interesting. And the free training, the OPPI, which is the Institute for Planners across Ontario, has got 6 free training opportunities coming up for municipalities, because they recognize that a lot of municipalities, as we have here, have instituted sort of, yes, we have planners as that we at the county that assist us, but administratively, we're trying to take as much off our planners' plate as possible. And so these free training courses are really for ourselves, so that we can do more in-house and don't have to depend so much on a professional planner for every single step. So I pass those on to Erica, and I think that's a great thing.
I was privileged to attend that same session with you, and it was the Waterloo Center for Work Integrated Learning.
Oh, thank you.
And it was amazing. All 3 of the presenters were all about how to go fishing for young people and drag them into municipal service. That was a great, and they have so many brilliant ideas.
So not catch and release.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
No. Yeah, so that's great. And I know, you know, we've had a relationship across the county with Algonquin and with AMCTO in different places, and through many different post-secondary organizations. So we are trying to attract and, you know, get people to come and work with us. And I think the Renfrew County Clerks and Treasurers Association is setting up a meeting with the dean again. There's been more closures of courses up in Algonquin and Pembroke. And so we're really trying to work with them to see how we can benefit each other in this industry. So that's pretty much my AMO experience, and I continue to follow up mostly with energy. Environment seems to be moving in the right direction right now, so we're just happy to be friendly with them. And energy, I've sent a couple of letters. I've offered, I am heading up to Cambridge next week, so I've offered to stop in on my way. And I've also, you know, we've sent a few emails to just sort of confirm what we're doing there. So yeah.
So it's also in my report, obviously, but with regards to energy, we met with Associate Minister Sam Oosterhoff, who's a pal. And later on in the day, Stephen Lecce, the Minister of Energy and Mines, came over to me, and he told me a horrible story about his car being broken into. But then I said, oh, we met with Sam earlier today, and he goes, oh, I know. Sam makes sure this is a priority on my desk. So that made me feel really, really, really good. But, you know, again, this is where knowing these ministers, having them recognize you is certainly helpful.
So
everything was stolen from his car except for his suit. And I said, Stephen, maybe you need better suits.
Yeah.
He'll remember you.
Oh, no, he's known me for years, but that, you know,
Just the wrong size.
That's
no,
great.
no, he's got a great sense of humor, but it really did, and Annette was there, it really did sort of make us both feel like the amount of work hours that we put into this, especially Annette with our partners in Mississippi Mills and Renfrew. You know, when a delegation goes well and you feel like you're coming to the end of it, and you've advocated and you've done your job, and then the minister lets you know it's a priority, that feels really good.
Yeah, from the days when I used to go there, it was awful nice to be able to call a minister on the first name basis.
Yeah,
And this is my problem.
yeah, you're damn right.
So it was definitely, a lot was taken out of the conference between meeting with the ministers and between, taking in some of the education opportunities, so making connections, so that's good. And I know we had our official plan amendment for Lake Clear, public meeting on August 21st, and I have had the opportunity to meet with, the planners at the county. So I have a very fulsome report coming forward at the next meeting on October 7th. With some options and recommendation for council's consideration. I didn't have it ready for this meeting, sorry. And the next option, or the next part of my report is filling the vacant council seat. So I did provide in my report sort of what the legislation outlines, what you can do, what you are supposed to
You
do.
gave us 10 pages of information.
But-
Along with a resolution that needs to be passed today. Or doesn't need to be technically, you could put off making the decision. We have till October 31st, but I would really
Right.
like a decision today
No.
of which option we're choosing.
It'll be on there.
No, no, don't let
So,
us off the hook like that.
so there's four options.
Yep.
One is obviously a by-election, which has its own procedure, so I didn't write one for it. It follows the thing, but it does cost about $25,000.
So we can take that off the table
Yeah.
right now.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Okay, so by the time all this is done, it's less than a year to the election.
Yeah.
So so now we have three options.
Yeah.
We are not doing a by-election. You're good? Awesome, okay.
Okay.
$25,000 with a year left in the term, I think not.
We need that money.
Yes, we do.
So option two, has no additional costs. It's just a process itself and basically it's a direct appointment. But I did include it because I know there's been some talk of where, if you were making a direct appointment, where would you choose from? So option two is basically direct appointment, but really only looking at the candidates from 2022 election.
Yes.
Option three is application based. So obviously minimal advertising costs. We'll have to put it out. Horton's going through a similar thing right now. They have their advertisement in the paper to accept applications. And I've included a policy there or procedures there just for your review. We can, if there's parts of it you don't like, we can certainly take them out or.
Oh, those aren't mandated.
Those are.
Oh,
then-
Those are,
No.
those are things that would work, though. I
Yes,
agree
those
with
are-
that. Okay,
To make sure when you were considering the option, you also sort of had an outline of how that was going to work. I think that's fair when you're choosing an option, okay, this is how it's gonna go, and I also, whether you're doing an appointment by application or whether you're doing a direct appointment, I always like to include in there, so if we run an election and we come down to two candidates who are tied for a position, in the Elections Act, you flip a coin, which as far as I know, has only happened to one municipality in the 16 years I've been, and they did have to actually flip a coin.
Yeah.
So I don't, we could do it that way. I instead thought if council could not come to consensus, because we're four, we could easily tie 2 and 2.
Yeah.
If we got there, I would put those names in a hat and I would just pick one. And the only reason why I inserted that is because I don't want to have this conversation like again and again and again and again. We only have till October 31st. So if you can't choose amongst yourselves, that was the option I put in there. We could also flip a coin if you would prefer to change the procedure to that. But I thought papers in a hat is just as good. So,
my feeling on that was that if we have two candidates that are supported 50-50, either one must be good because we're trying to make a very good decision here. So I think that we will, when it comes to that point, we'll discuss, but
okay.
I liked your thoughts.
Okay, and then the last one, option 4 is no additional cost, and that again is a direct appointment, and it's just anybody that council chooses to put forward. And as I mentioned in there with the procedures, just trying to think of how that would be, so kind of went alphabetically around. Everybody says a name. I would put those in a hat. I would pull it's just trying to make it as fair as possible, pull them out of the hats one at a time, and then if they didn't get a mover or seconder,
Yeah.
we wouldn't vote on them. If they did get a mover and seconder, we would vote on them. And again, we can't make a decision. Back in the hat and will be chosen. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So I don't wanna put you on the spot, but you brought something up at our last meeting that when we declared the seat vacant, that has been mulling in my brain ever since.
Uh-oh.
You talked about criteria.
Yeah.
And of course, in order to run for council, you have to breathe and you have to be 18. And oh, yeah, very little criteria. So I was wondering, were you thinking in terms of community engagement, watching our meetings, being up on the
Yeah.
issues? Like, because there are lots of ways that we could determine criteria. But after you said it, I didn't ask you about it, and then I was like, I'm not gonna ask you about it in private. Cause then I
Yeah,
think we
no, I-
all need to, this is a really
This is
good
the place to
discussion
talk.
point. Right,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't preemptively call Tracy and say, what did you mean by criteria?
I think it's like any job that you're applying for, right? You're applying because you have the skills for the role. So we have a job description of what a role of a counselor, but it's.
Do we?
Well, there is a general job
Yeah.
description, but you're right. Anyone, we're just talking about this at the beginning of the meeting, anybody can run because they're cousins with God knows who in the community, right? Like you run, people will vote for someone because they might be a family member and not because they have the skills and criteria involved in being a counselor, like business acumen, financial acumen. You know, there's certain things that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't sat at this table for 3 years. The things involved, like budget reviews and all of that stuff, like you have to have a set of skills to do this job.
so the only thing I would say is you can't set criteria that would prevent anyone from applying. So if you went application based, you can't set criteria. Everyone that applies is acceptable.
Oh, no,
And
no,
if you, or if you
sorry.
direct, but of course, as you're making the decision for the public, you want to have reasoning. So I don't want to call it more reasoning.
Or
rather than-
logic.
Okay,
behind
yeah,
it?
sorry,
Yes,
and I
sorry.
didn't, sorry. Again, you're right, that's the better word, and that's why I didn't bring up education or anything else, I brought up,
Okay,
you know.
I
we
didn't even
always
say education, just to
Yeah,
start.
we gotta onboard somebody with a year left in the
Yes.
term, guys.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? Because are we going to have a council member that doesn't feel like they're part of the team, that doesn't know what's been going on for the last 3 years? That's
Well,
that's
that's
the
kind of why I said that a criteria, because it's only a year left.
I know.
So, and there's, getting into budget cycle in the new year, like there's some core things that you have to do, but you have to ramp up quickly.
Agreed. Merv, you obviously,
Yeah, I'm just saying, is there anything wrong with running an ad, vacancy available? I think there's one in the Eagle Leader now, one of the municipalities is running an ad.
toward this, yes.
What's wrong with going that route?
Well, that's one of the options.
It's one of the options, Merv.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So is that the option that appeals to you? That would be application based?
Yes, they apply and we look at them and we decide maybe we should down to 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 to interview.
Okay,
So if we go application based, then all of those people have the same opportunity. So it's not, you can't narrow it down to 2 or 3 to interview. You can change the policy to either be, we're just gonna review on paper, or we're gonna allow everybody to talk for 2 minutes, or we're gonna ask questions of people, but it's all open. It's open to the public and you can't narrow it down. All of those people have to have the same opportunity.
which is what they're doing in Horton.
Yes.
Anybody that applies
Yes.
is being interviewed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless, unless they don't qualify to be on council, like if they're not 18 or they don't own property in Bon
Or
Valley.
they don't breathe.
Those ones, of course, would not
Yeah.
qualify, yes.
So you like the option of application based?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
So just a couple of questions. So when we, option 2, when we look at the candidates, there'd be 9 candidates potentially from the last election. But that wouldn't include room for someone who served on council, like Joe Sobolski in Madawaska or someone like that. So we'd have to go with application based if we wanted to say, I'll just say Bob Pelzer for some reason.
And
So he's
Poor
also
Bob.
got.
Bob's name has been banged around all over the place. So Bob, if you're watching, we apologize, but we're going to use you as an example right now.
Yeah.
So I happen to be sitting with some people from Arm Prior during the ag tour. And of course, Billy left or prior to be our MPP. And
Oh, yeah.
so they decided to appoint Ted Strike. And Ted had sat on council, I believe he said for 19 years. Ted is not running again in the next election, and they thought that that was the most fair, so that the
Mm.
person coming on, number one, didn't maybe not look prepared, or, you know, it could be a deficit sitting for a year.
Yeah.
It could give them an advantage. I don't know, but that's the road that they went down. And so I had somebody say to me, well, that would be kind of like you guys appointing Bob Peltzer.
And Dave Schulis is back in the chair, is that not right?
Yes.
So that had a bit of attraction to me because to address the
Oh,
experience.
Dave was a counselor.
But
He's just become mayor
Oh,
again.
I'm sorry, okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
sorry, but he was sitting,
gotcha.
yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
So that's that's what I wondered, where did a past counselor fit in this
So
picture?
both option 2 and option 4 are just direct appointments. So
Right.
it's, you either are going to we're either gonna advertise, we're gonna look at applications, or council can go away from here and have a direct appointment, and whoever you think, you know, whoever it is, you're gonna say this person's name. And then we would use the procedure for direct appointment, and that's, yeah,
Okay.
then.
Assuming they want to be, you touch.
I was gonna say.
Assuming they want to.
There's some research
Like
involved
Bob
here.
Peltzer, Bob will be like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Well,
you don't get to decide, you're just
So
gonna.
what road were you going down, Tracy? So we've got application based.
I'm kind of like, this application number 3 for sure, but I also like the direct appointment if there's agreed upon, like we'd have to agree, obviously the names and people who are interested determine. If the
Yeah,
previous
well, that-
counselors, and I guess any other names that we would put forward, right?
And John didn't really say which
No,
one he was for, but
I must I put no for number 2 because of that concept. I thought it precluded past serving counselors. So I'd said the general call, but I realized that could leave us open for a large field and make our job very difficult. And my second choice was option 4, but I wanted to clarify, does that mean there'd only be 4 people named for that process?
It'd be faster, right?
Yeah, so what
Yeah.
what the procedure that I did was that I would ask each of you individually to name somebody.
Yeah.
I would take those names, and then as I said those names, if this person's name got a mover and a seconder,
Okay, that's.
okay, then they're in. If this person, so if you said a name, Tracy said a name, Merv said a name, and Jen said a name, but let's say your person that you named, you couldn't get a seconder,
Yeah.
then they're automatically out.
That's easy.
And then when we get down to, so let's say we get down to 2 names that got mover and seconder. Then out of those 2, I would look for a vote, and whoever got the majority, and if we couldn't decide, if this person has mover and seconder and this person has a mover and seconder, and we're tied, because we're 4 people, that's when I would put them back in a hat and choose between the 2. So, yeah, each of you could, but you could bring the same person's name. Then there's nothing wrong if you're thinking of a particular person to call them. Like, I would expect you're going to call that person
Yeah.
to let them know. My
important.
intention.
don't be silly, don't do that.
My intention is to bring your name forward on October 7th.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to serve if the rest of council agrees to your name? And that person would say yes. If that person said no, I would assume you're gonna go to another person.
It sounds
Okay.
fast, efficient. But is it
And-
fair?
That's my problem, is
Yeah.
it, and I keep this in my brain, it's only a year, and are we setting somebody up to succeed or fail? And that, I don't like that responsibility, right? I don't, thank you, Annette, I don't.
It is only a year.
Because it's a year, and if that person hasn't been following some of the issues that we're dealing with, some of the ongoing things that we want to do, I feel like we've really set this person up to fail. Or do we have people out there that are diehard BV watchers that are up on every issue, but then does it mean more of an application? Whereas Annette said they each get 2 minutes to come and address council.
What are you voting for? What do you want? What's one that appeals to you?
Okay, so the efficiency person in me just wants to direct a point.
Yeah.
But I'm taking this very seriously because it's only a year. Even if it was a year and a half, 2 years, that gives people enough time to kind of learn. But the more I'm sitting here, the more I think it should be a call for applications. But
I know I'm stuck between the two.
right?
Two, 3 and 4, yes.
Yes.
So,
Okay. Oh,
whoever we appoint, they won't blame that person. They'll look at us and how did you come up with this? You know, and
Yeah.
so we have to be able to say, we did it A, B, C, D, and we thought that was a good way to find a person to do the job for our community for this short term.
and the people I'm most worried about with just appointing are the people that might want to run next year. And they're not up to speed. Those are the people that I feel like we're doing them a disservice, but then maybe we're doing them a great service.
Yeah, a little part of me says, if you had someone showed up and it was a banker or so, I was gonna say an accountant, but we already got one of those. So
You're
I was gonna say, if you had someone that might make a fine 2026 successful candidate, that might, but, and you mentioned, we talked and you mentioned that might look like we're giving someone a head start. But I think we can't
Yeah,
worry about that too much. We have to be efficient, get on with the job.
it's a conundrum. And I mean, every municipality is doing it differently, right?
Yeah.
McNabb Braeside did application, then they had closed session interviews. Horton is opening it up to application, they're interviewing everybody. Mad Valley appointed,
And you don't know how many
Appointed.
people put in their name in Horton yet.
not yet.
That's the,
No.
that'll be.
What is the lead time when you do ask for the notice out for applications? Is it a week, 2 weeks?
Totally your call. So I would suggest we have it be a tighter
Yeah, I
round
was
so
just
that we
gonna
don't
say,
get
yeah.
Yeah,
don't get overwhelmed, because I think if people are paying attention, one, I think we want somebody who's paying attention. So I think if you're paying attention, you're gonna know at the end of this meeting which way we're going. And you're gonna have you're ready to go whichever way we go. Whether it's, whether you're calling a council member and saying, not that I'm encouraging that, but they could be calling you saying, I would really like to be if we're doing it direct, I would really like to be the name you put on the table, John, and here's why. You know what I mean?
And there wouldn't be any reason why they couldn't phone one of us and say, I'm very interested in the job.
it's just if we're doing applications, I don't want us to be flooded with potential candidates.
So yes, so
And that,
option,
you know,
It would be a tight
option 3,
turnaround.
if we had 25 people apply, there could be more work, more than a year's work in trying to sort that out. So you're right, that doing those interviews and then having them all come in and present their 2-minute talk, and we have to narrow the field down. That'd be a big job.
That's a day of work, you're paying a day worth of work and expense, right? Like, or however long, whatever that time.
Well, if it was
frame
only
is
a
for-
day, we could do with it.
For your
If,
time,
if there was 25,
Yeah.
it would be a day.
yeah,
If we go with the procedure and it's
Okay.
just a recommended procedure, we can make amendments to it. If they each those who wanted to, again, the option is there for you to present for 2 minutes. Some people may choose not to. That's their, you know what I mean?
That's
Then-
true.
But if they each presented for 2 minutes, and then if council had questions, limited to 2 questions per council member, yeah, it's gonna be a full day of, if we got 25, it's gonna be a full day of that. But at the end of that day, I would, my assumption would be that we take a break. And then each council member comes back with a name. And we proceed
Yeah.
down to narrow it to the end of the day, and if we're tied, or I've got 4 names and nobody can decide between the 4 of them,
it's
then,
more fair for sure.
we're pulling out of those 4, we're pulling out of that.
So in that regard, the open appointment and we get 10 names or 25 names, they have a chance to present. We'll put in the time and do it. And then the public's perception is this was a start of the fair process. And then we have to do our job and narrow it down. And then we go through the voting process and we go from there.
It is the most democratic.
I thought it was gonna be a lot
Full
more unwieldy, but we
transparency.
could do this.
I want you all to know I came in with a very open mind, right? I was option 3 or 4. I came in with a very open mind. I knew option one was
Yep,
a non-starter.
yep.
I I think no matter what, there are going to be people that are disappointed. But I do think a call for applications is the most democratic. Maybe not the most efficient. It is gonna be a day, guys. So we'll have to figure that out. I don't know, if we're all, if it sounds like Merv had made up his mind, which I'm thrilled about.
Well, I mean, this is like any other job. You come in for an interview and we're not picking anybody. We're trying to pick the best candidate.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And we want to go down the list of what they expect of the job, et cetera, you know?
Yeah, and the candidate is responsible
Yeah.
for selling themselves, which is
We
proper
don't,
as
we don't
well.
need somebody that we're doing everything wrong. You know, and you never know what you
There
get.
might be a couple of those too, you never know.
Yeah, more than likely.
But nonetheless, I can live with that, with the open applications, because I know we four will work hard, and we'll do what we have to do and narrow it down to the point where we'll
And
make
try
the
to be as
decision.
fair as possible.
you know, whichever option we go with, when I leave here, I'm gonna be kicking myself going, oh, why didn't we do that option? But I think that this is, to be perfectly open and transparent with you, I've had quite a few people ask me what we're doing over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And so knowing that, I'm not sure that I would be able to, as Annette said, give one name.
Yeah.
And I think that's unfortunate, because
yes.
I think that there are people out there that are very interested, that do keep up with what we're doing, that are so involved in the community, no matter what their sector is. I mean, it's been pretty fun to watch, actually.
And it-
So, yeah,
It puts you and I on the hook, because if we name Bill, then Don's gonna be upset.
yes,
Cause he was really my second choice anyway, so yeah, I think the open application will help us be more fair, be more open. It just means we have to work a little harder to narrow the field,
I think it's worth it.
okay?
I really do. Again, by the time they're onboarded, like really onboarded with Christmas and everything else, you're talking about budget time, guys.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's,
Yeah.
right?
they won't be any less prepared for that budget day than I was the first time I was in this room with you,
All right, that's fair.
anyway.
That
So
that is fair.
And we have an excellent chance of finding a good person to sit at this table to keep this municipality rolling in the right direction.
Right.
And that's what we're ultimately after.
Absolutely.
So I just
Ugh.
have a couple of questions. So one, are we open to the 2-minute presentation and the 2 questions?
Yes.
Okay, and then,
That's 2 questions for each of us,
For
so
each.
hopefully we don't need all 8 questions.
I was gonna say,
So too.
But I like your reason,
but I think that most of our questions will be pretty,
similar.
yeah,
Maybe can we make a list so we're not duplicating, like, just make a concise
Sure we
list
could.
of what the questions will be amongst us?
sure.
And then
Is it easy?
we'll have you don't want, do you want this added on to a council?
No.
A special council meeting?
Yes,
Okay,
Cause it'll be public as well.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we may have to do it in the Eagle's Nest, but I think that's right.
No, we can do it here.
Do it here, yes.
okay.
Okay.
I want it on YouTube.
And then I guess my next.
Yes,
My next question is just, obviously, we put out a call for applications. We're not gonna make this week's leader. So that means it's going to go out on September the.
Is it put to bed?
What?
The leader,
Not yet,
what's that?
not yet. I think our ads are though,
Oh,
for this week.
all right,
Yeah,
So,
stand down, it's all good,
I mean, we can have it on the website, but it would be in the leader on September the 24th.
okay?
So
Social.
are we giving people 2 weeks until October 8th? Are we giving them until October 10th? How much of a timeline do you want?
I think October 10th makes sense, that's 2.5 weeks,
Yeah.
yes.
The
Yeah.
Friday before
I
Thanksgiving?
think that's just.
Yep,
They've got 2.5 weeks. And
That's Friday, the 10th.
Friday the 10th, yes. And then, for the special meeting, after Thanksgiving, would we have it on Tuesday, October the 14th?
No, ma'am,
No, the 15th?
sure.
Is everybody available October 15th?
What are we gonna,
See how I took over there? I just know my calendar,
Yeah,
it's some
yeah.
what are we
stuff.
gonna do on the 15th?
On the 15th is when we're going to have the individuals come in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
And it would be kind of end of day, we'd start at 6:30 or 7 and do it then, or what would you? No, we'll need time.
Yeah.
to be-
No, I
has to
think we
be a
started
long
like
haul.
10.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be all day.
And then if there are some people that work that can't get out of work, then I would say we accommodate like over lunchtime or later on in the day. But if you want to sit on council, you all also have to realize that we meet during the day.
Yes, I will send it, yeah, October 15th, I'll send out a notice closer to the date. And then we could then have whatever decision is made on the 15th, then they would be able to come and make their oath on October the 21st.
Oh, yes, that
Makes
works.
sense?
Yeah,
And let's face it, there's gonna be some people happy and some people unhappy. We gotta make a decision.
As long as you're happy, Merv, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good plan. Let's think about it some more but I think,
no, but I also think that not one of the four of us came and we said, we're doing it like this. I think we've just had a good conversation about how we want to see this done. And I think that we've obviously, all four of us gave this very thoughtful consideration. So we can't do better than that.
Yeah.
Right?
What's the best option out of all of them for fairness and transparency?
And yeah,
and we can make it look very fair and very transparent, and that's ultimately what we need to do.
Because that's what we are.
exactly.
Okay, that's a good place to, so Annette, you'll write down some of those ideas and circulate them, some of those dates and things
A resolution will come forward to council this evening.
this evening,
And
okay.
approve option 3, and then if option 3 is approved, then I will move forward with the ad and draw up the form to be filled out, which you can attach a personal letter to, and we will move forward with the October 15th special meeting. And then have the person sworn in by the October 21st meeting.
That's the other thing. We shouldn't really put it in the leader today because we're not really passing the resolution till tonight.
Yes, that's true as well.
Yes,
Yeah, and I'm sure the leader will be finished by 5:30 this evening.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
But it's okay, that would still
Yeah.
work.
So I really liked your strategic action report.
Okay,
Like I really appreciated it. This is the kind of thing that I would love to do and ask Mayor Murphy about.
okay,
Some of our strategic priorities, what we've done, costs, overrun, underruns, securing grants, all of it. I think this would make for an amazing Ask Mayor Murphy.
okay.
Things that people don't think about, right? So the garbage tag thing went out on social media. I got called out. Then somebody called me out about where our taxes go. So I wrote like an entire report on our taxes. Afterwards, people were like, oh, that's very interesting. I didn't realize that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a few upset people over the tag price.
I know, but it's been literally a decade,
I know.
like
There
in 2
wasn't
months.
there wasn't as many as I thought there would be. Like, I thought there would be more. Thanks.
Yeah, so did I.
So it's good.
But the garbage tag thing sort of flowed into taxes in general.
Mhm.
And waste area rate as opposed to dump cards and that. So there, there are so many things that we can continue to communicate out to the public.
Mhm.
But this report is amazing.
Do you want me to highlight anything on it
I
or?
think you should copyright it.
Do you want me?
Like, I can
well,
go through it if you want.
No, but I
know
think
it's-
that
I know it's a long report, so.
but there are some, connecting link was one. What was that in?
That was the first one. So
Oh, that was in grants.
Yeah.
Sorry, I blew right by it. Our advocacy efforts, although we do report on that here.
Mhm. Yep,
I'm not sure, Annette, can I go through it again and maybe? Cause Like, I read the whole thing. It's very good.
Well, I mean, I think that the strategic plan is really an important guiding document for council and staff to make sure that we're on the same page. We're going after the same things.
Yes,
So, I mean, yeah, obtaining funding has been clear.
Yes.
That's what we want to do. And yes, I mean, the connecting link is almost $2 million that, you know, so that's a fantastic,
there was one other, hang on, I should have made a note. I don't know why I didn't. There was one other one that I thought was. Oh, I know what it was. John Street. The amount of times that we've applied for John Street
Yeah,
and that it's a priority.
it is.
He got all he needed. I
did.
I told your boss that we should have done it at the beginning, maybe after our delegation, but, okay. Report well, my friend.
I
Thank
will do
you.
my best. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Yeah, just that sometimes we have priorities here at this table and in our asset management plan. And we know the importance of them, but without federal and provincial funding, we can't get them done. And this is the reason why.
And I don't think people realize the amount of funding that we do get, and they think it's just tax dollars paying for certain things.
And that's why I laid it all out in that Facebook post.
Yeah.
That this amount comes from taxation, this amount comes from,
Is that on, it takes a village?
yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, so the only thing that I would like to highlight is really our roads need study, which is from
Yes.
2013. You know, I think now we have incorporated it into our asset management plan. It's not, you know, we are still checking off roads every single year. You know, but I think it has become time that we should look at getting a new roads need study. We don't have to redo the whole asset management plan, but I think that's a portion of it that's very important.
yeah,
And there may be roads, and I know that Jason and Dale are out driving the roads all the time, always looking at them, always trying to make, you know, the best decision for what should we spend our time. But I'm curious whether we're still on the same track of where we were then. Like, is it still the same roads that, like, obviously, if we've completed, let's say, the first 10 jobs on the list, great. But is number 11 really still number 11?
right.
Or is it like, is it moved way up, or has it survived better than we thought? You know what I mean? Because it's hard to make that prediction in 2013. And that's what are there higher priorities that we don't, like I said, we depend on our roads department to tell us those things. But it's nice to have a document to back us up, especially when we're applying for grants.
Well, and we don't really have PCI, right? Because we're so small, it's sort of an eyeball in driving it.
Yeah,
But I would say that there are probably some roads, and Mill Street's a great example, where its PCI would be
Yeah.
like 30.
Yeah.
And maybe something that's, as you said, maybe something that's number 5 on the list has a PCI of 60 still.
yes. So I think,
So-
I think, and to that, we also need to update, we have to regulatory, we have to update our water and sewer long-term financial plan.
Right.
That has to be done for 2026. So we have no choice but to do that in 2026. So, you know, I think those are two very important things that we have to have a look at. Because, you know, it's always a struggle, because it's one thing to look at it on paper and to be, this is where you should be investing your money, this is how much you should be investing every year. But that piece of paper doesn't list the other pressures that are happening at the same time, or what, you know, how's the economy doing, or has the assessment been redone? Like, so it doesn't look at any of those things. And so I know at the table, we, you know, council staff brings recommendations, and council has the tough choice to kind of say, I know this is what the plan is saying, which is a good recommendation, but here's the other pressure that in this moment
Yeah.
has taken priority. So, I mean, I think,
Well, we talked about that and that when we presented at AMO about asset management plans.
yeah,
Like, that people have to remember, it's a plan.
Yeah.
And plans change.
Mhm.
And roads fall apart
Yeah.
that you didn't expect to, or so, you know, we talked about the painting of the water plant.
Mhm.
You know, none of us we didn't know about that,
Yeah.
so it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I just realized PCI is pavement condition index,
Mhm.
sorry about that. My apologies. And, yeah, have you noticed that even Codman Road 8 is not in great shape already?
It's not terrible, but yeah, it's.
It's just done. Anyway. All right,
I thought it was good. I think it's too much to digest this afternoon in some ways, but it was very readable. I just had a couple of clarification questions, if that's
Okay.
okay.
yeah,
So page, 1, 2, 3, projects, activities for 2025. The free training is all okay. When it refers to first local tier using new county official plan process, just explain that first official tier.
Yeah,
Is that
so-
where we sit
That
in the
was-
grand scheme of things?
that was the meeting that we had. So the
That's-
county changed our public process in February. Is that
Yeah.
right? In
Yes.
February, and we were the guinea pigs for it. We were the first ones.
So we are the first local tier, this table.
No, there are
I'm sorry, it's just that.
9 of us or 11 of us that are part of the county official plan. There are a lot of us, a lot of the locals here. This is speaking to specifically our Lake Clear
The late
data.
thing. Okay, good. Next page, you know, I just ask a couple more questions. The feasibility study and planning for extension of services applied again and will continue to apply or implement sleeve to extend the life of the asset. What's the sleeve physically referred to?
So that's John Street, and that's where we have continued to apply because it needs to be rehabilitated. So the question is, can we get the funding in order to rehabilitate the entire section that we need to, which is an $8 million project? But if it's 90% funded, no problem. If it's not, we don't have much choice but to deal with this. Well, even to put a sleeve into that pipe, we're talking $400,000.
So sleeve is
So-
literally a Band-Aid solution.
Exactly,
Okay.
Yes.
exactly.
It's not what we would like to do, but at the end of the day, can we afford an $8 million project on the backs of just our ratepayers? No. Yes.
Absolutely not.
No.
We need help.
Yes, we need help. So we've asked it for help 3 times. now.
Multiple times.
And we're gonna continue to ask for help, and
Yeah.
hopefully at some point they will,
They'll go, oh, what is Sheer Valley again? Let's get them off our backs.
we
Okay.
continue to strengthen our case every time, and I'm actually quite surprised that they have not approved us, but it is what it is.
Okay, that's good.
I have a question in terms of enhancing the BB brand. Are there funds, grants out there to support this goal? I know there is like with tourism, but I'm thinking of the new app now, they've just had a presentation this morning and all of these items and where that fits, not all of them, but a lot of them fit within that.
So we just redid our Eorn brand logo, but the answer is right now, I don't think so.
I haven't seen any. I get
Yeah.
a list of grants, Ontario grants.
Yeah,
that
and
are
I'm-
coming up and they're not.
I don't see anything that where we could fall into the grant.
Yeah, we continue to search and look at them. There is one, right now, not really for branding, but for, economic development, and it talks about, community infrastructure improvement, that Sarah and I are working on. We had discussed the pulley system for the banners. So I think we can make it fit into those guidelines, whether we can get it approved or not, I don't know, but, we sort of read over the guidelines and I said, well,
Ask,
yes,
see what happens.
Right?
it's improvement. It does bring
You're right.
efficiency if we don't have a contractor. Is it, improving, what portion of our economy is it improving? Well, I would say it's improving some tourists and some events because that's what we're advertising up there. So what's the benefit to the community, those types of things. So, so we're always looking, we're always trying to find something, like for the banners or for Driftscape or for whatever. And we've applied before, for other things similar to Driftscape, and we haven't gotten approved, so.
Okay.
Is our AGC meeting at 3 or 3:30?
I thought it was at 3:30, but
Okay,
So
I need a break.
we accept this report and we're reassured that Annette is available to anyone who has further questions.
So is it okay, Daryl's not coming, is he?
Daryl, actually is, no, he has a meeting, so I had mentioned to the chair earlier that he probably won't come, but if you have questions on his report, I'm happy to take them back.
Yeah, I've read through it and it's his usual quite succinct report. So if somebody has questions, they can talk to Daryl.
So if I pull 3 or 4 out of your report, can we do those on Ask Mayor Murphy?
Sure.
Or whatever we wanna call it, we don't have to call it Ask Mayor Murphy, by the way, but that's how it started out during COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it,
Okay.
cause there were a few that I'm like, that, the public needs to know.
Well, in summary, when you look at the columns, it shows that we are making progress.
Yeah.
That's nice. We're completing things and moving on to the next things. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Down in the back.
Right on the set.
We're live. Yeah, we're live.
Okay. So we'll have to take a short break. We have some other pressing business. We will reconvene with the committee meeting for Bon Valley Council at 4:15. Thank you.
We are back. Oh, we are back. There we are, we're back.
Thank you. We return to the committee meeting of the Township of Bon Cher Valley for September 16th. We're at item 7 on the agenda, correspondence A.
All these entities that I sit on are doing my job for me. It was nice to get a thank you from Boople though. It was lovely.
Yes,
Mhm.
and that's the one thing we're happy with, and we'll certainly look favorably on their request for next year.
Yes, sir.
And the Horticultural Society.
Yes,
Yes.
sorry,
The
that was the other one. Oh, yeah, it is in there, sorry.
the book sale is becoming an industry.
What's that?
The book sales are becoming an industry.
I know. When they have lineups before they open.
Yeah.
I love that.
Moving on, correspondence B. I think.
B?
B.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was just looking at Macaulay Mountain Road request here, but the road super isn't here tonight. My request was, I'm sure we put salt on it to keep the dust down, but, I mean,
I also think that this is a budget thing, much like, we got the
Yeah.
request for Birch Road.
Yeah.
So I think that goes in our
yeah,
pile
it's too
for,
late now, but I mean, I'm sure they do put salt on it. I'm sure they do.
Calcium.
I think it was calcium that they were
Calcium,
worried
whatever,
about, yeah.
I call it salt, whatever, yeah.
But, okay, so is everybody okay with the draft letter for Enbridge?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay. The Renfrew County District School Board Outdoor Learning Project. I hope everybody, is that
I
cool?
love that. There's a school in Toronto, just that's outdoor education.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. So
Yeah.
we had a whole delegation on it at county council. And the timing of it, so I hope everyone's okay with the fact that I did sign the letter
Yeah.
of support
I love
for the
it.
resolution tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, EDPS already has a small outdoor area, but to expand that into what you see in the slide deck, that would be so incredible. I will tell you though, the one question I did ask was about partnering with the Catholic School Board.
Mhm.
Because I think,
Makes sense.
I think it's great that the public school board took this on as an initiative. But if they're putting in for these grants and they're at minimum 50 grand, I think it'd be really nice to partner with the
Everybody.
separate school board. Yeah,
and once the process proceeds further, we can make that happen.
yeah.
Or try.
Well, no, it would be up to them. This is their initiative, not ours.
Yeah.
What they asked for from the 17 municipalities was just resolution saying, yes, we want this, even if we don't have a public school in our municipality.
I think it's wonderful, and I think that, some kids fitting into the current system like this would be motivating,
I think some kids would thrive in
Yeah,
this
I do.
environment.
Yeah, something to look
Right.
forward to for them.
Yeah.
Good. Number 3, I read it and I'm not sure.
But
Scrap metal and bale.
it's, no, I didn't care for it.
Okay, let's
I,
just, we'll leave that for future consideration. There's no action to take there.
no,
Macaulay Mountain Road, as we said, we'll leave that till
Yeah.
a further time after budget time or consider it at that time. And Ontario Volunteer Service Awards, do we have any action to take there?
That's sort of my question,
yeah.
is if you wanted us to, post it on Facebook, we could, and if we get nominations, we can bring it forward. to the
Yeah.
future
I like that.
closed session.
Let's do that. We're doing the Ontario Seniors Achievement Award in closed. Cause we don't want these people to know, right? That we're,
They were
But,
nominating them,
yeah.
until they won.
yeah, but I think that's a great idea. Now let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we did have the addition of the New Horizons,
Yes.
which.
Yes, and that's what we're gonna talk about now. That's I got it here somewhere. New Horizons, that's Kayla Menkhorst
Yes.
is looking to expand the already long list of services that she provides to our seniors. And I would support that 110%.
110%.
Okay.
They have done, I can't get over how the growth. It's incredible.
Yeah, works very hard for all of us,
Yes, she does.
especially she works harder for Merv and I, because we're both
Hey,
know.
it's for 55 plus, thank you very much.
Okay.
So we're already seniors.
Exactly.
Alrighty, correspondence C, we can dispense with more quickly now that Brent isn't here, so that's good. New and unfinished business, we have 2 reports. I'll proceed with my report of my activities at the AMO convention. I had a great time and I felt privileged because I felt that Annette and Jennifer were working very hard at sessions. And I got to kind of just wander around and enjoy things. So I did have some very nice things. I went to the Women's Leadership Congress or Leadership Forum, where I was just as impressed as could be with the president of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress. And there's a woman who's fighting a battle for survival for her whole people. The Royal Caucus lunch was good because it was sponsored by the Independent Electricity Systems Operators, IESO, and I learned a lot there. I learned that we're in trouble because we need more power than we can generate at this time.
And we don't like IESO.
Okay, but they gave me breakfast.
Lunch, but yes, perfect.
Anyway, we'll just go through a bit. Annette and I went to the panel on developing the municipal staff talent pipeline. I was intrigued by it and I thought it was very good that there were 3 far apart organizations all looking for the same thing, and they were all good ideas as far as I could tell. I went to the working lunch with the Ontario Medical Association, talking about things. I was struck by how many of the problems they discussed were the same as last year. So
Unfortunately, yes.
but was able to enjoy my participation. I went to the libraries for community impact and childhood development. I loved it. That was my very favorite event. And there was a woman from Sault Ste. Marie, had an Italian last name. Angela Caputo, and she is the Canadian engine behind a Dolly Parton initiative, which is to put a brand new book every month in the hands of a child from birth till age 5. What a great idea.
That's very
And
cool.
for all the great reasons. And I am, so I've been talking a little bit with our library here. I don't know if it'll work here, but there's no reason why it couldn't. So that's what I liked. Otherwise, I met some MPs and people with really expensive suits, but my favorite people to meet were elected delegates just like myself. I met people from North Huron Shores and Peterborough and Oshawa, and it was funny because we could immediately sit down at lunch and we had things to talk about. So I like that. Thanks for the opportunity.
That's awesome. And weirdly now, Toronto is part of AMO again. So my dad's counselor was at AMO. And so I introduced myself and I was talking, and as I was talking, he goes, "Oh yeah, you're Spanky's daughter." Because my mannerisms, like I actually look like my dad, but my mannerisms are the same. But because my dad was the unit commander of 53 Division when Josh was first elected. So they've known each other for years and years and years. So sort of it's stuff like that that's kind of fun, right?
And I think that's the power of AMO. It is important in lots of ways, but more important than having 18 cabinet ministers on a stage doing a question and answer. It was so boring.
It was so boring.
But the 5 or 6 new people that had the same problems got to the job the same way you did and had the same problems. That was nice.
Yeah, but it was the bear pit was boring. Like really boring. And I don't know why. And I will tell you, Rob Flack came up to me afterwards and he said, "I don't know why people didn't ask me about strong mayor powers." And I said, "Because we all assume it's a done deal. Why would we ask?" Anyway, but I'm glad that you had a good conference. And you spread your wings a bit and made some new little friends on the playground. All right. So since my last report, I have attended 24 meetings along with several community events, and I'll just give you some highlights. Obviously, County Council communique is in your package. Thank you so much to Tina. These continue to get better and better and better. Construction on Highway 512 Point Mount Road from Silver Lake to Highway 41. In our package, it is listed as Highway 17, but of course is an error. And I reached out to Lee and to Big Bird to say, that would be a very long piece of road work. They thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, it was scheduled to begin last week. They're doing bits and pieces of digs on the side of the road. So realistically, we'll probably see some heavy construction starting next week. But it makes my commute a whole lot easier until this is happening. Again, the school board presented on the outdoor learning project. We have the resolution of support before council this evening. On September 4th, county council and staff met in a closed session to discuss strategic priorities for the county of Renfrew and important issues for the local municipalities. It was a very good opportunity to vent and to bring forward ideas. And I don't think that I can't go into details, but there was not one person in the room that didn't agree that we need more shared services. So the Roma board met on August 17th and 18th at the AMO conference, and the Roma report is in your package. Minister Lisa Thompson of Rural Affairs and Rob Flack, Municipal Affairs and Housing, met with the Roma board, and they were very generous with their time. A meeting that was supposed to be about an hour and 15, maybe an hour and a half, turned into a 3-hour meeting. So they were overly generous with their time, and you could see that their staffers were really trying to get them out the door. But one of the things that we were talking about is homelessness with Minister Flack, and he of course knows this area very well. We were talking about the MESA program, and I was trying to get down the hall after our delegation. It wasn't a delegation, with our meeting with them. And every single board member was coming up to me asking about the MESA program. So I am not a subject matter expert, because this is a living, breathing initiative that changes day to day. So I've asked Chief Nolan and CAO Kelly to present to the Roma board probably in December. And the planning for the Roma conference in January 2026 is going very well. The Erin Salgap project report is in your package. RCDHU did not meet. AMO, so I was extremely busy. I had delegations and ministerial meetings for Bonnechere Valley, the county of Renfrew, Roma, and Erin. So I put on all my hats. I was only able to attend one session, but it was focused on attracting visitors to a region. It was kind of targeted to urban centers, but it was very interesting at the same time. So I didn't mind sitting in. So this is the BOO. Annette and I met with Parliamentary Assistant Michelle Cooper for the Ministry of Finance to discuss retaining the non-recoverable 1.76 HST. Unfortunately, the government indicated that neither this proposal nor AMO's suggestion of increasing HST by 1% would be adopted. I will say they want us to find new funding tools, but then they're not allowing us to use the new funding tools that we're bringing to them. So anyway, alongside the Township of Mississippi Mills and the town of Renfrew, Bonnechere Valley took the lead on a delegation with Associate Minister Sam Oosterhoff from Energy and Mines regarding financing for local dams. Minister Lecce later assured me that this file is being treated as top priority, which just gave me such happiness, you have no idea. Our joint delegation with Whitewater Region to Minister Todd McCarthy, Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks, on recycling and the circular economy was very well received, with staff following up directly after the meeting. And I mean, the guy chased us out of the room, said, I've just got a couple of questions to ask, and then he asked 12 questions. So that was very exciting for all of us. I had never met Minister McCarthy, and it was really, he's a really nice guy, very, very engaged with us. And we had a couple of minutes to speak sort of off the cuff, just, you know, about where we grew up and who we are. So that's always lovely, because you want the ministers to remember you when you see them in the hallway the next year. So the Roma Board also had productive delegations with ministries of health, municipal affairs and housing, rural affairs and infrastructure, focusing on issues facing rural Ontario. As chair of EORN, I met with Hydro One alongside Bonnie Clark, chair of the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus, to discuss transmission lines and priority areas in Eastern Ontario. This was also an opportunity to thank Hydro One for its support with the Selgap project. I also had informal discussions with several ministers and MPPs, including my buddy Graydon, Jill Dunlop, John Jordan, Billy Deneau, Doug Downey, Raymond Cho, Paul Calandra, Kinga Surma, Stephen Lecce, and had a lovely sit down with NDP leader Marit Stiles. I will tell you that Raymond Cho was in the Dominican 2 weeks before AMO, had a very, very, very serious accident where he got sucked into basically a sinkhole in the ocean, and it's a miracle that he's alive. And so I was attending to him and his wife getting in with their truck, and then he was telling me the story, and then the next day he made me put my phone number in his phone, and he reached out to let me know that he is doing very, very, very well.
Wow.
And thanked me for my concern. I called him the Miracle Man that night, and he said he's gonna now use that. So lovely to hear that he's okay. It sounded like it was he was in a hospital in Punta Cana, like this was serious. So, and such a lovely man, and almost 90 years old and still serving. Specifically, he's the Minister of Seniors Affairs, the seniors in Ontario, and he takes his role very seriously. So we're just also grateful that he's okay. As far as events go, on August 2nd, I brought greetings and a certificate of congratulations to the Eganville Legion Branch 353 on their 80th anniversary. On August 16th, it was my pleasure to attend the 95th birthday of our friend Jean. On August 22nd, I attended and brought greetings at the Final Music in the Park for 2025, which honored the late Guy Jamieson and Steve Agnew. On August 24th, I brought greetings and thanks to the sponsors, volunteers, and cyclists at the Tour de Bonachir, which was organized by our Eganville Rotary Club. On August 29th, I had an interview with TV Ontario about the closure of the Eganville Leader and the potential for misinformation on social media and proactive steps that we need to be taking. On September 12th, I attended the agriculture tour organized by the County of Renfrew. This tour included the Enright Dairy Farm. My cousins, Jerry and Michael Enright, showed us the milking operation. Highlight of the day was the calf barn. Anybody on social media saw me bottle feeding the calf. There was a calf that was born 3 hours before we got there, but she had just been fed, so I fed the next oldest one, who was a day old. We then visited the Dolman farm, which included discussions around beef cattle, infrastructure. We had a presentation by the 4-H Club. Our own Wesley Godden from Fairside Farm, who spoke about raising sheep and some of the other bylaw bureaucracy challenges. He was fantastic. Wesley is just a gem. And finally, we had McLaren Systems owner Tara Tenen, who spoke about dairy farming, robotic milking systems. We ended our tour at Mapleside Sugarbush, where Ray Bonenberg displayed why he and his staff are recognized in the maple syrup industry, both locally and more broadly. And Mapleside's products are made with an emphasis on tradition, quality, sustainability. If you've never been to Mapleside, I urge you to go. This operation is something to behold. By the way, I did say when we were at Dolman Farms and we were looking at the beef cattle and the calves, I did say to a couple of my colleagues, I probably shouldn't get too attached to those ones. Not like the dairy calves. On September 13th, I attended our Bonachir inspired museum night market. The weather was perfect for the large attendance, and congratulations on another successful night market. I do have a couple of upcoming things. The Water Street lighting project is coming along very well. And I have to thank Annette and Jason for, Gerald, like best fundraiser ever. We have almost 40 sponsored lights. In fact, I think as of this morning, we probably do have 40. The logistics of this project, we're hoping to have completed by the end of October. And there's a plan for some to be installed at McCrae Park And I will say that Jason and Annette and I went out, and Annette and I on Water Street actually represented the lights. We stood the 40 feet apart to make sure it would look good. So it's gonna be a really cool project. And of course, we will thank all the sponsors when this is over, but I am so excited about it. I'll remind everyone that the kickoff to Legion Week, we will be meeting at Legion Field on Sunday, September 21st at 1 o'clock to formally unveil the new sign, sidewalk, and beautiful Canadian flag and the poppies on the side of the youth building. Again, we'll rename it, Tracy. The official launch to Legion Week is at 2 o'clock at the Legion, of course. And on September 24th at 3 p.m. or whenever County Council gets out, the County of Renfrew is holding its second annual Renfrew County Day. This afternoon will include paramedic Sierra team display, paint a plow, a job fair and more, and you're all invited to attend. And that concludes my report. Thank you. Any questions?
Very good.
Okay. No questions. I must have done a really good job.
It's just a hell of a pile of work there, that's.
I love it. You know what? It's funny, you know, we've had this conversation over and over again, and then Warden Emo brought the idea of the Pan County warden being elected from at large. And we did talk about the amount of work if you're a mayor or reeve and being the warden. And I feel like I did it for 3 years, and 2 of those years had huge anomalies, and I was still able to serve the people of Bonachure Valley. I never lost sight of our people, and I think that I can do that again. And fingers crossed, I'd really like it if we didn't have any natural disasters, including a tornado. But again, when you think that 2017 and 2019, I practically lived at the county building for months at a time in each of those years. And the amount of work that went into it, I know that I can do this, and I know that if I do feel a little overwhelmed, I know the people at this table will help me out. So I'm not overly concerned about the work, and I do understand the job, and the job again has grown exponentially in the last few years, but I'm ready. And if you guys have any concerns, I really want you to voice them. Maybe not in public, but if you don't have faith in me, but I know myself, and I've already expressed that I will give up the chair of EORN. You know, I think that we've had great success with EORN in Bonachure Valley and in the county of Renfrew. I will give that up, and it does take up a lot of time, so that's my promise to you, and I'll start saying no to, and that doesn't believe me. But, you know, getting to all these events as well, I could really use some backup on all of them. I love going to events, don't get me wrong. My dad always says I would go to the opening of an envelope. I know, he's mean, my daddy's mean. But I do think that there is space for all of us out there in the community. But I really, really, really want you to know that if I am elected, if I'm lucky enough to be elected warden, I won't bring shame to this table. I will make you proud, I promise.
Not worried.
Not worried now.
So the term of warden is
A year.
1 year, and it's the year leading up to the next election?
Yes, this
Same.
particular one is, yeah.
Is the old fall next time?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm okay with that.
What is the date on that? The day of the election?
December. It's the
Yeah.
second Tuesday. It might be December 8th.
well, we've succeeded in making sure nobody's gonna go home before the
No, that's for
council
darn
meeting.
sure. It would be December the 9th. But the cutoff for nominations is in November at some point, so. In any case, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, backup would be great, deputy mayor next year.
We can do better on that, yes.
Well, it's also a matter of, I guess, everybody's gonna check their email at least once a day, okay? That's the first thing. But I will also do better about upcoming events like I just did today. Because then you know a couple of weeks in advance or a week in advance, or in this case, 4 days in advance, that, you know, we do have an event and it's an important one.
Farms Open is also on Sunday as well.
Pardon me?
Farms Open is also on Sunday as well. It starts at 10.
Okay, it's also the anniversary of the 3 tents. So
Yeah, there's a women's march, I'm going on, is it Friday?
I think it is Friday and I won't be here, that's
I'm going
why.
on that one.
Okay, that's in Petawawa,
No, it's Kilwood.
Killaloo, okay.
Just checking.
And the Fairfields Echo is gonna have the opening of their community walking trail on Friday the 19th, I believe.
And I also will not be here.
I'll
I'm
be-
gone the
I'll be-
rest of the week. Yeah, so if you guys can backfill on everything Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that would be fantastic.
So your week away is Wednesday to Wednesday, more or less?
No, I'll be back on Saturday.
Okay,
I can't find it, but it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
all right.
One of my neighbors was the gentleman that passed away in the tragic accident on 41, so I gotta get back,
Yeah.
cause I wanna go to his celebration of life.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the next day, I was saying to the president of the Legion just before our meeting that we're really proud of the rehab that we've done at Legion Field, and it needs to be shown off. Like I can't believe how beautiful it looks. That Canada flag came out better than I imagined it. So.
But the puppies are the showstopper.
I know. And that was just because we didn't do the poppies as the big one.
Yeah.
Like that was sort of my Hail Mary, can I have the poppies on the end?
That's right.
And for anybody watching, I did get permission from the Legion to use the poppies.
Oh, good, yes.
We had to get permission. So it was just lucky at the 80th anniversary, the big district guy was there. So yay. So we got permission.
All righty, so we set a date for our next meeting. It's already set, I think,
It is
on
October.
the seventh. Okay,
We don't have media.
we're just gonna do away with the media session and then we have a closed session. Do I have a? Here it is,
You sure do.
my resolution. So as we move into closed session, resolution dated the 16th day of September 2025. That committee proceed in closed session in accordance with the Municipal Act 2001, section 239.2 to deal with matters as indicated below. B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal employees. F, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. And K, a position, plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiations. May I have a mover for that? All in favor? We're good.
There's nobody in the building, right?
So, on this, the 16th day of September 2055, I have a resolution moved by Merv Buckwald that council moves out of closed session at 16:56 hours to rise and report that council met to receive information and give staff direction regarding nomination for Senior Citizen Award.
Achievement Award.
Achievement Award, Benoit Road, and approved minutes from September 2nd, 2025. All in favor? Thank you. That threw me a bit.
Listen, I missed the word achievement in our package as well, so
All right,
I thought it was the volunteer one, so.
okay, so moving right along, it's time to conclude this meeting. May I have movement? Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. All in favor?